Okay.
And we are live on YouTube as well. Yeah. चलो शुरू हो जाओ हसन और करें.
अरे just
ठीक है,
wait 5 minutes so that people can join in.
ठीक है 5 minutes हो जाते हैं.
We'll be starting in a few minutes. अपने दोस्तों वगैरह को बुला लो.
Hello.
Arman Sup, nice.
Machine learning experts. अभी तो है एंड्रयू एनजी भाई. Enthusiast भाई मेरा रेज्यूमे का वो है भाई.
मैं वेटिंग रूम भी डिसेबल कर रहा हूँ.
कितने लोग आ गए? 17. जो भी participants outside the club है, just write a random sentence, like short random sentence.
हेलो लिख दे को बोल देते यार.
I will explain what will happen later. Yeah. ऐसे random सा कुछ भी chat में लिख दो. I'll select one and then, yeah. भाई
Good one.
क्यों भाई? Like a sample, whatever, could be एक सेकंड रुकना, मतलब उसी लेंथ या टोन whatever जो भी. Yeah, like this was a random one. Yes, Dheer, I hate you too. Direct में भेज रहा है वो. Any random short sentence भेज दो, full ऐसे cool हो जाएगा. अनिमेश भैया ये क्या मैसेज हुआ? ये थोड़ी बोलवाऊंगा मैं.
ये राज है?
What?
अच्छा राज भी है. मैंने गलती से राज ही है पढ़ लिया था.
राज भी है.
राज भैया भी है? Oh yes,
कहाँ पे?
one and only.
हेलो.
भाई आप शुरू कर रहे हो?
बस
क्या?
कर रहे तुम. करें स्टार्ट पे बोल.
नहीं वेट करो, और भी आएंगे लोग.
हाँ.
Are you sure और आएंगे? I'm not like expecting that.
एक वो
आई
रिमाइंडर
एम एक्सपेक्टिंग आ जानी चाहिए.
हाँ, someone put a Discord पे reminder if it's
हाँ
possible.
मैं डाल देता.
मैं डाल दे रहा हूँ.
डाल दे.
आईजी पे भी डाल दो ना, सोशल्स पे.
मैंने एक्चुअली अभी पोस्ट किया था बस 15
हाँ,
मिनट
अभी
पहले.
एक डाली थी, फिर spam tag का हो जाएगा और क्या.
Guys, सिद्धू मूसेवाला भी आया है.
Where?
है जी
अरे
reincarnated.
Shubdeep Sidhu.
Shubdeep Sidhu.
Nice.
um,
All people co-host भाई क्या?
ना अभी
अच्छा ब्रह्म नहीं बनी हुई co-host. Waits co-host.
let's start in 2 minutes. That's okay. 2 minutes रखते हैं, then let's start. Or should we wait longer? जैसा
I think 2 minute में शुरू करो.
It's well live on YouTube as well, right? भाई किसी ने भी रैंडम सा सेंटेंस नहीं लिखा भाई. I'm so sad.
यार
Yeah.
मैं लिखता हूँ यार. नहीं ऐसा रैंडम सेंटेंस कुछ अलग सा होना चाहिए.
हाँ जैसे लाइक बड़ा सा लिखा है वैसा सा कुछ भी लिख दो. रबिश ही लिख दो. It's all good.
नाइस.
think कर लेते हैं start.
स्टार्ट करें.
Cool.
ले start.
वो स्ट्रीम कर रहे हैं. Okay. Well, hello everyone. Today our AI ML workshop will be held by our own Animesh Bhaiya. He's a senior, 4th year going into 4th year now in Thapar University, and Ayush Verma. You may remember Ayush Verma as the guy who was not there. It was the first workshop and he completely forgot. It was also his opening ceremony. And today he surprisingly does not forget. Huh? Apni bari, obviously, who forgets? No. I am a good human. That's why I'm here to host him. I hand over the stage to Ayush.
Yeah, thank you Hassan for the
Yeah,
great
welcome.
introduction.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Ayush. I'm co-lead here at GDSC Thapar, and I'm joined here by Animesh Gupta. He's a senior 4th year, as Hassan said. He's an ex-Nvidia-intern, by the way, so it's good. I think let's start. I'll just share my screen 1 second. Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. So hi everyone to the bootcamp for deep learning here at Google Developer Student Club. First of all, thank you so much for signing up and taking out the time for this. I promise it's going to be very concise and hopefully insightful as well. And I'll try to make it worth it. Let's not waste much time, and let's just focus on what are we going to cover today, because obviously deep learning is a very, very vast field, and we are going to be able to cover, just give you a boost about it. So the topics that we are going to cover today is, first of all, I'm going to tell you what is deep learning and how is it different from regular machine learning, and what's the difference between machine learning, deep learning, and artificial intelligence. And the brief of the DL program we have here at GDSC. And if time allows, we'll also look on some hands-on projects as well, and then we'll showcase some cool stuff. So moving on to the first thing in the workshop. So if you're not living under a rock, which by the way totally recommend, you would have seen these dumb memes in which you type something and the deep learning model just throws in an image for you. So here's an image I typed in anything random. That's why I asked for random things from you in the chat as well. That lo-fi nuclear war, to study and relax to. So it showed me exactly what I wanted to, and just the fact that it's so accurate, it makes it very, very beautiful. Now on to Animesh.
So as Ayush have just showed you the example, so basically it's come from the text supervised image generation. So here we try to create images on the basis what text you give, and we try to keep it in this manner that particular text should be given a particular weightage so that the image can be generated for that particular text. So one of the fields this text supervised image generation is being currently boosted. Many of the current research work is going on this field only, and we will show you more examples of what the current work is going on. So I guess we can move to the next slide.
Yeah. and here is like Optimus Prime performing at a concert. You get the point. Yeah. This. Yeah. So.
And now let's just show you first what this example is. So you can see like this is an image generated like this using and like different angles. So in this, like what they are doing is, I will just show you after this video. So in this, what they are using is neural radiance field. Like it's been like introduced in 2021, and most of the work, like many of the work, like in the CVPR, and most of the papers are being like coming in this field. And like if you want to see like how it is being generated, like let's suppose if you have an object, okay, so the images are being like captured over a 3D space. Like you have a camera, you have a point of camera, and you try to like catch the image from every angle and try to create a 3D view of any object. So accordingly, this is the like the example you have just seen was like on a big scale, like for the scene for the image views, like street views here.
Yeah,
And
just to iterate on the fact, all of this is like not real. It's basically generated by an artificial intelligence, and like a deep neural network system. It's everything is just generated from like pixel to pixel. It's not a real image. So just go over it like once again. All of this, like all these turns and everything is like constructed by itself, and that too from all the angles. So that's what like the beauty of this part of it is. Yeah, moving on to the next one.
so yeah, now this is the where, so as you have tried, as many of like you have seen the lens card, like lens card, what they provide is the AR view. Like if you want to test some lens view, so they provide a AR view. So recently what people are trying is like to try a virtual try on clothes. So recently, like last year, I guess, Adobe Research like created one work on this. So here what they're trying to do is, on the left side of the left side, you have an image of a person which a particular posture, and on that in the bottom of that image where you see the posture we want that particular model should be. So on the right side, you see their model was able to generate the posture on the basis of the posture we gave. And accordingly, the paper also introduced one more thing, which we will be see on the next slide. Um, so here, initially our model, basically our lady was wearing a black dress. So we wanted to like try on a white dress. So the model was able to gather the same, like was able to create a same image according to the where we wanted to try. So this can be like tried on the virtual try-ons. So this work is being like trying to do is on more AI side also. So this is what we called is post-guided image synthesis. And then next we can move to is
Yeah. So basically, reinforcement learning is also a type of like a subset sort of, or like an approach to machine learning. And as you can see, this GIF or GIF, whatever your preference is. So this is a normal like AI bot learning how to parkour. Okay, so it's pretty epic, not gonna lie. So what happens is, as you can see, it's running and it's crouching and it's jumping. Whatever it's doing, it's to avoid the barriers that are there, right? So it's basically achieved by a domain called reinforcement learning. Think of it as a learning experience for AI. Okay, in this method, you reward the AI for doing something good and punish it when it fails. It's pretty epic. It's sort of like pets, but you go a little dark in that way. And then let's give chess an example. So it happens with chess as well. It learns what it's doing wrong and what it's doing right by learning by the system of reward and punishment. And moving on to like Atari games as well. So as you can see in this GIF, that this is a simple Atari game, and it learns, and the AI learns how it can play it well, rather like complete it. And also not to these like small video games or like other like in the field of like video games, If you've heard about Dota 2, it's so Elon Musk's OpenAI team defeated a pro play team in like in esports of Dota 2. And reinforcement learning isn't just like confined to gaming or like stuff like this. You can apply it to like many major fields, and some of it is like fintech as well. So and that's very cool. Now for all my anime fans on the call, here are some images of some anime characters that don't even exist. They don't. These are all the anime faces that are generated by an architecture called style GANs from Nvidia. Okay. Similarly, would you believe me when I told you that none of these faces exist? And this is a pretty cool website as well. Just 1 second. I'll put it in the chat if you want. You can try it for yourself as well. So here's the link, and what it does. Yeah, just 1 second. Yeah. So what it does none of these people exist. So how are they generated? So they are generated by an architecture in deep learning called generative adversarial networks, and it was sort of the first things that I touched when I started with the DL program here. It's nothing that the GANs or like generative adversarial networks are nothing but they think of it as like two cat and mouse architectures. So there's an architecture called generator, which like whose only job is to generate images. Okay, and there's this another architecture or like the mouse called discriminator, and its only job is to differentiate between what's real and what's not. So it's like a pretty adversarial game in which both of these networks are trying to fool each other into like proving what's right. And if the generator passes into fooling whether the discriminator is like right or wrong, you get like very real life like images, right? And similarly, you can see here as well, and this is by Hugging Faces architecture. You can like style GANs, you can also style transfer images. Let's suppose there's a cartoon representation of someone, right? And these are not hand drawn, trust me. These are all generated by an AI, and that's very cool. So you can like achieve every possibility sort of by like just getting into artificial networks and everything. So we are here to like see how it works, right? And then so since like as I mentioned that deep learning is a very huge field, only limited things can be covered today, but sure we can have more sessions when you come back to college, or you join our program and like are interested to continue further with us. Now getting to like why deep learning? Why not deep learning instead of, let's suppose, so many fields available such as web dev, blockchain, or anything rather. Okay. So my first point, because it's super fun, and the scope of exploration is like maximum. As I mentioned, that anything that's up to your creativity or your mind, you can literally make it. Okay. New fields of applications are found every day, so you can work on them. And so the job perspective of it is also very huge. I myself, like I mentioned, Animesh was in Nvidia, right? And so that was like very specific on like machine learning and stuff like that. I'm currently intern at a place where we're working on like financial data. So you would have heard about using deep learning in financial situations as well, right? So there's like a huge sphere where you can anyways apply to, right? If you love math, you're gonna love deep learning, because trust me, it's a lot of math. And the last 2 points, I don't think so I have to mention them. Yeah, like machine learning experts, it's like the most highest paying job after like a computer science major or something, right? Moving on, what is deep learning? And trust me, by the way, fans of the boys in the chat, don't worry, it's not this creepy guy. It's a subset of machine learning. And which in place is a subset of like artificial learning. Okay, so artificial learning is like a huge broad sphere, and which like it's basically an approach to see and like compute how humans think. Okay, and machine learning is like a subset of it, which focuses on enabling like computers to so machine learning is basically increasing efficiency of the computer. It's like whether to approach a problem, like what way can we approach a problem the best. That's machine learning. Now we come to like the most subsety part of it, which is deep learning. Okay, it's basically it's basically it's like basically a like an imitation of the neural networks that you actually have in your brain and artificially creating them. So no matter what you feed and how you and all you need to do is just configure those nodes and like neurons in such a way to achieve results, and literally you can do anything with it. And like reminding, like yeah, just me getting reminded by machine learning. Just let me set a reminder, just 1 second, and you would have seen it. Like machine learning is used in like so many spheres, like let's say voice assistant. So hey Google, just remind me to share resources after this meet. Okay, great. It just reminded me to share my trauma after the meet, but yeah, let's just cancel on that. Yeah, self-driving cars, great. Yeah, that's a great example. And there is still a self-driving project that we have here at Thapar, right? So yeah, moving on to the moving on. Here we have a meme again. So is deep learning for you? And I'm not gonna do the fingers. So if you're fine with maths and a little bit of statistics and computing and reading, you're totally in. Okay, so yeah, exactly. You don't have to focus too much on maths. Exactly. That's the thing about you start from like zero knowledge, and then as you grow, like it's not like dev that you first learn something and then implement it. You start implementation and then learn by it. That's great. And here's a meme. So it's, you can basically read it. What society thinks I do, what my friends think I do, and what I actually do. It's just importing libraries, right? Now that meme was generated by an AI. Yeah, I mean, not really, but yeah, just the fact that you actually believed it successfully answers my question: is it even effective? Okay. Yeah. Now moving on to the end part of a presentation. So here at DL program at GDSC, we have sessions to like learn and explore new topics. It's open to everyone since we are an open society where all we stand for is just open source and contributions and like getting you ready to get an internship or like perform well in the industry, right? It's open to everyone. We ready you from initial start to like real world with internships and like experience, and me being the perfect example. Whatever, I started the program in Feb, and not Feb but like September, sort of started working in November, and I was sort of interned by Jan. And same with Varanium, and there's a guy Amog in our club. Same with them. They are currently interned under CMU, California. There's an university there in their labs. So yeah, it's just to get you ready enough to be there. Yeah. So ending our PPT. Thank you so much. It's been Animesh Bhaiya and me. So if you want to explore more stuff, we can. Like right now, we thought. So I thought about taking a poll whether you guys would be comfortable with coding. So if you are, there are two options, or like both of them. I can go with the code, or Animesh Bhaiya can like guide you through some real world examples, or like we can just go to the code. So what would your preference be in the chat? Yeah, we have a lot of sessions over here at DL program. So it's just all it takes you to join is just a simple click. And I think so. How to get it? If you hate Python, I don't know. Do you know you can do deep learning in JavaScript as well? JavaScript has great, like not great, but yeah, like libraries for neural networks. Yeah, C++ में तो लिखी गई है पूरी. So yeah, if you want, I made like a code kind of thingy, and if you want to understand like basic terms to get you started, I can totally do that. But yeah, it's just on you. So yeah, let me know in the chat if you want to go through the code, or do you want to go through some like real world examples.
Ayush, ये question कर दे कि how are CNN different than GANs?
GANs are basically an architecture. See, convolutional neural networks are also an architecture, but they're majorly used for, they're like an, fully connected layers hoti hain. There are multiple layers, so they are connected pura. And convolutional layers mein kuch nahi hota. They are just set of neural networks that work on a specific portion of an image instead of pura like taking it in. Okay, and that enables us to explore the image better, take out better features of it, and much more. And GANs are just like an architecture that are used to produce more images. So I hope that answers the question. Yeah, that is a digit recognizer data. Yeah, and the data doesn't matter much. What matters are like the terms that let's say gradient. Are you